Hi there, it's Kimmy from Scrap Therapy. Hey, if you've been watching my videos the last couple days, you're probably noticing I'm getting a little obsessed with this stamp set called On the Lake. It is just so beautiful and I've been having fun playing with it, experimenting and trying out some new things. So it all started before Christmas with this Christmas themed card with the On the Lake stamp by Penny Black, and I had done this multi-layer stamping with my mini Misty, and it's a technique that I learned from Heather Telford. She's an amazing designer and extremely inspiring, just the stuff that she comes up with. So from there, I decided, hey, I want to use that stamp, but I want to use it for spring. And so I came up with this card here, and I used her same technique, but I've kind of gone my own way, done some different colors with it. I used an oval die cut and kind of did a frame that's popping up on this one. And then on this one, the oval frame is sunk down in, kind of like a sunken living room. So those two cards are available on a video if you want to check it out, and you can learn how to make those as well. Then I did this one, and this was inspired by Heather Telford again. She had done this moon, masking off of the moon, and I didn't see a video of, maybe she has one, but I didn't see one out there. So I thought I'd do one for all you ladies that I love so much. So there's that one. You can check out that video. Okay, so now I'm going to do it one more time. And this time I'm going to use low glossy paper and alcohol inks. Okay, so I've cut my card, and it's going to be the same A2 size as this one with a top fold. So I took my 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, cut it at 4¼ inches, got 2 strips, and then folded them to create a top fold card. Okay, so then now for the piece that's going to sit on the front of my top fold card, I've cut another piece just out of my low glossy paper, and it is 4¼ by 5.5, and it covers the whole thing. So from the last video that I did in the last card, I have my stamp already set up and lined up on here, and I put the paper at the bottom against the guard here, and then I lined it up with this very first red grid line, and I'm going to put a magnet just down at the bottom to hold that in place. Okay, so I'm using VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It's a pigment ink that is slow drying and is perfect for heat embossing, which is what I want to do. So I'm just going to load this up. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp it. So now I remember, or maybe you haven't seen my other video for this card, I wanted the image to come off of the edges and to not have any border or frame. So I've lined the paper up, and I lined the stamp up ahead of time so that exactly that would happen. So now I'm going to press really well. The one thing I love about the Misty is that even if you're working on folding crappy plastic tables, you still get beautiful stamping because the Misty has a nice hard back to it. Okay, I'm going to lift that up. That is gorgeous. Okay, so I don't have to re-stamp it at all. I'm going to just take my Misty and set it aside. I'm going to take my clear embossing powder. Sprinkle it on. Okay, tap the excess back into the container, set that aside, and then I'm going to heat this. So you can watch it turn, and the gloss shows up, and then that means that it's heat set, it's cooked, and it's ready to move on to the next spot. You want to be really careful using a high gloss, low gloss, or Yupo paper with heat embossing, because you can wrinkle the paper really easily, right? Especially Yupo, you want to be very careful with it. And heat embossing, because just that little bit of heat on there is going to curl the paper. So you want to be careful with that. That's why I think it's easier for me just to use a low gloss or a high gloss paper. Okay, so there's that. Beautiful and ready to go. Okay, so for this one, I want to do that moon look again, like I did on this last card. I just love the way the moon is masked off there. So I used a 1 3/8 inch circle punch, punched out a circle, put a little bit of painter's tape on the back, and I'm going to place that on there. So I just want to touch it lightly just to make sure, yeah, it's nice and cooled off. All right. So I'm going to take and place that moon about right there. Actually, maybe I'll go a little lower. Yeah, there. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to use alcohol inks for this one. And I'm not going to worry about this bottom area here because I'm going to put a black strip of paper with a sentiment on it. Okay, so for this, I am going to use a bunch of different colors. Stonewash, denim, sailboat blue, and pool. Okay, so I'm going to use a paintbrush, and I'm just going to take and put a little bit out onto my mat. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit right there. And then I'm going to use my paintbrush, and I'm going to pick up the color, and I'm going to just kind of paint it on. Okay, so there's my beautiful aqua water that I got going on there. All right, and the alcohol ink dries really fast, so you want to use it up quickly. I'm just going to use kind of the excess and just kind of paint on, kind of scribble on a few kind of areas. Okay, then I like to use rubbing alcohol, and I just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, put it onto my splat mat, and then use that just to clean off my brush. Okay, but I've actually got a bunch of brushes, so I'm just going to go on to the next color. So my next color is the Stonewash, which is a light kind of a blue as well. And I'm going to pick up some of that. And I want to start on an outside edge so I can kind of get a feel for the color, because I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look on here. Then I'm going to start on my moon and come off of the moon, kind of away from it. I don't want to go up with the ink because I don't want it to go in underneath my mask. Okay, I need a little bit more of that blue. So it really sticks to the cardstock, but you can see on the glossy paper it doesn't stick as much. It has a bit more movement to it. And I sure hope I didn't mess my line up right here with my brush. I hope I didn't get it in underneath there. If I need to, I can just dab a little bit into my rubbing alcohol and kind of move that around. Okay, so now I'm going to add some bright blue. This is my sailboat blue. And I'm going to grab a clean brush again. Starting on an outside edge somewhere so I can get an idea of the color and kind of the palette that I'm working with, and that looks amazing. I'm also going to use some of this blue and dab it into my turquoise down at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to come back up here again with some more of that bright blue. So we want the top to be a bit darker. So I'm probably going to come back with some more of that turquoisey color in here. Okay, and last I'm going to add some denim. clean brush, starting on the outside edge. It's got quite a purple hue to it. Kind of mix these colors together, kind of blend a little bit. I'm just really pouncing the brush on there. Okay. Ooh, it looks like a stormy sky. All right, I'm going to go back to my, sorry, excuse me, my pool color. Start on the black, and I'm going to kind of come up, just add a little bit of that turquoise. So I'm liking the way most of it looks, except for right here. I need to add just a little bit more, I think, of the turquoise, just to highlight it a bit more. It's just right here, it's just bugging me. There, that's better. And then I think I'm going to go and add some more of that bright blue, which was this sailboat blue. Starting onto my mask and kind of pulling off so that I don't end up with too much of a big dollop of kind of in a spot where I don't want it. Okay, that's looking pretty amazing. It's kind of got a stormy look to it, but I like it. I like it a lot. So I think I'm going to just take some of the light stone wash. Is that the one I'm thinking? Yeah, stone wash. And I'm going to just add it here on the bottom of my water. Kind of making it look a little bit like waves, right? And then I can go back with a little bit of the turquoise again. Kind of make that kind of just this kind of pouncing motion, right? And it kind of looks like waves in there, which is exactly what I want. That just looks amazing. Oh, whoops, sorry. I just pulled that up by accident. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to pull that moon off, and let's see what that looks like. See how badly. I kind of screwed it up a little bit right there, but it's actually not too bad. That looks really neat. Okay, so I think I want to just blend again. Is this these spots right here? I think that's where we're going to have to stick a bird or something. Okay, so then I'm going to let that dry. I would just take my rubbing alcohol that I have in my bottle, and I'll wipe that up so I don't get a mess all over my card. Close my ink. Okay, so I've got my card here, and I am going to grab a clean piece of paper so I don't have a mess everywhere. And I'm going to just take my sequin, pull it off the top here like so, and then I'm going to take this piece, and it's going to get placed right on top of there. So I'm going to line up the top because I want this to be seamless, and then down to the bottom. Okay, that looks great, hey? Kind of a stormy kind of a look to it. Okay, so then I've got this happy birthday piece that's going to go on the bottom. I've got it pre-taped. And I put the happy birthday sentiment on already as well. Oh, and I didn't do a very good job of lining that up. My goodness. Okay, so I'll have to trim that. And then I've got some birds that I'm going to glue on. So I like to just place them on first, kind of get an idea of where they're going to go. If I put one right there, that actually does look great, actually. It takes my eye away from that spot, which probably isn't bugging anybody else, but it's bugging me. And then this one can go there. So the birds are kind of just soft and in the background. Okay, so I'm just putting on a little bit of glue. And I'm going to just pop those on. So you can see with this one stamp, On the Lake by Penny Black. It's pretty awesome just how, that looks better over there, just how versatile it is. And it's probably harder to see it on the white, but just how versatile it is, right? And that you can do so many different techniques and looks just with one stamp. So I hope you're inspired to try some alcohol inks and some glossy paper or Yupo today, and some great stamps. So, oh, I know, one last thing I was going to add, because I do love the look of the plain, but I think I'm going to just add a couple sequins to this one. There we go. Happy birthday. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos on scraptherapy.ca, my YouTube channel, and my Facebook page. Have a wonderful and creative day.